Good morning from about 2 hours northeast of Phoenix, getting ready to hike what's called Browns Peak, part of the Four Peaks. And the summit is right up there behind that pine tree. We're at the Lone Pine Trailhead. Not sure what the distance or the elevation gain is, but we're going to get started here soon and try to get up there as quickly as possible. So we're taking Browns Trail number 133. You can kind of see the final stretch of the climb. You're going up through a ravine there, just between the high point and the lower point on the right. So yeah, the last part's a climb, but up until the base of that, it's just going to be a nice hike, which it's been so far. Pretty easy. Beautiful views so far, really nice. It's about 48 degrees, so not bad at all. And there's still some snow on the north slopes of the peak. Yep, up here in the snow now. I didn't think we'd encounter any of this soon, but it's cool. So we just came from this direction, made it up here to this saddle. There's a big fire pit right here. So down there is the greater Phoenix area. And now we're basically going to take the trail this way, kind of along this little ridge, straight up into the gap up there, and then climb all the way up. So this is where the climb begins, and this is where the fun begins too. This is going to be neat. Hopefully about, I don't know, let's say half an hour we should be at the top. Okay, we just climbed up a few switchbacks, have a few more. We're already a lot closer. I thought it would be higher, but it looks actually a lot closer. Okay, we've been climbing more steeply now. Looks like you can either try up here or go to the right of this outcropping here. I think we'll go to the right because there is a path going that way. We'll just follow that and keep it on the same path. But really nice views up here so far. Gotta look at Humphreys Peak already. I'm gonna film that once we get to the summit. Yeah, we're gonna go down right here and then up to the left. Okay, down there was the saddle that we came from. We've worked our way up the ridge more, and then now up through the gap here. So we just climbed straight up here. One little section where you had to climb a little bit, just a little bit below. Now we're at a little level section, and we have to go down a little ways and then straight up again. It looks steeper from below, but it's really actually not that bad. So it's just down a little bit here, and then straight up. Okay, it's gonna be a bit more climbing here now. This may or may not be the hardest move, I'm not sure. There's probably something further up, but been climbing pretty steeply. Just came up a good 100 feet or so from where we last came from. Hopefully at least a third of the way up now. Okay, this was just a tricky section right here coming up. It's basically a little straight up for about 6 to 8 feet, but there's enough handholds to grab onto. I'm gonna help my brother up here soon if he needs it. And then hopefully that's the hardest section. Maybe one more. But yeah, basically going straight up through the gap here. It's still steep for what I can see for the next maybe 50 to 100 feet. But that possibly was the hardest part right there. Alright, I made it to the top of Brown's Peak. My brother's just about to come up. I had to hurry up and beat my half-hour time limit from the saddle, which I got in 29 minutes, which was good. So time up was an hour and 22 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so way out here in the distance, to the right of that mountain, is Humphreys Peak. There it is right there, Snow-Capped Peak far out in the distance. That's Humphreys. I'm not sure exactly how far away it is from here. Straight line distance. My guess would be 70 miles, maybe further, maybe it's 80, 90, 100. No, maybe try to figure that out later, just to get an idea of how far I'm actually seeing. And then so here are the other peaks. I think they're called Brother Peak, Sister Peak, and Amethyst Peak. So there's, I think Brother Peak is the first one, then maybe Sister Peak, and then Amethyst Peak. So it's a long day trying to get to all 4 of those. I was initially going to try for the first one here, but I'm not even going to do that now. I just have to get back and see how my wife and son are doing back at my parents'. There's Superstition Peak out there between the 2 farthest peaks. So that's Superstition Peak. Still a decent bit of snow up here on the north facing slopes. Starting to get warmer though. Now my project when I get back is to figure out the straight line distance between Humphreys Peak and Mount Graham. Just kind of figure out how far we're actually seeing. I'm going to film Humphreys one more time because that's just cool. There's Humphreys out there. 12,633 feet. We're going to take a rest for a few more minutes and then start back down, carefully down the chute, and then we're just going to fly down the trail as fast as possible and get back to the trailhead. Okay, we just came down from the summit, which is up and then off to the right, and then I just wanted to get a view straight down the chute here, which is this. Okay, just coming down, we passed through the harder section, which was actually a lot easier on the way down because you could just sit, which was right in the middle there. Yeah, it was easier coming down because you could just kind of sit from one rock to the next, put your foot on the next hold. So getting a lot lower already, probably dropped about 150 to 200 feet. Okay, we're almost done with the final part of this section. We have to go down a little bit and then up just a little bit and then down through another little scree slope. There's actually another guy coming down too. He made it to the top right after us. Let me just see if I can get him on film. There he is right there. So he's coming down too. So that's kind of the perspective of the climb you have to do here. few tricky sections, but nothing major. Actually, surprisingly, not as tough on the way down. The one section we thought was going to be harder. You could just kind of sit and put your feet onto the holds below. So that's a good perspective of the chute there. Okay, right there is the Flatiron Mountain and the high point on that side of the superstitions. We're back to the easy trail now. It's going to be a breeze from here. But yeah, that point sticking out on the right, I'm pretty sure is a Flatiron. Could potentially be not be, but I think that's what it is. If that's the case, that's Flatiron. We're back, getting warmer. Still a lot of snow up there on the slopes, and there's going to be another patch of snow we encounter on the way down, but we're back to the easy trail. So we just came down from up there. Okay, probably our last look at Humphreys Peak. That's still so neat to see that, snow-capped, way out in the distance. We may get one more view, but it's definitely getting lower on the rim up there. Okay, enough fooling around. Time to get back. Okay, there's the summit up there. So yeah, I made it back in less than an hour, about 54 minutes. Getting ready to make the longer drive back to Gilbert. It's gonna take us about 2 hours to get back, if not more. So here's another look at Browns Peak. We're about halfway down the road, coming down the east side of the range. Have about another 5 miles or so back to 188, and then we'll head north up to 87 and back down to the Phoenix area. Yeah, that was a fun hike. Okay, here's a shot of the 4 peaks from Gilbert. So Browns Peak is the one on the left. It does look a little bit lower now, but it is actually the highest one. Yeah, so that was a fun hike today. This is about 7 hours after we got back already, but wanted to get a good shot of the range from further away. So about 6,000 or so feet higher than where I'm at right now, and a good maybe, I don't know, 30 to 40 miles, if not more, straight line distance away from here. So today was day 1 of about 6 or 7 days of hiking here in the Phoenix area. I'm going to hit a lot of the city peaks tomorrow if I can. But that's it from today, from the hike of Browns Peak. Hope you enjoyed that hike, and I'll try to get more from here in sunny and warm Arizona.